Hi class. The stock Excel database. Well, I'm making a new video here because Stony Brook has decided to cancel the membership and subscription to Hoovers.com. So where I was planning to use Hoovers.com as a database to work with for this assignment because I was told and encouraged to work with databases that Stony Brooks have purchased, I see now the error of my ways of using a product provided by Stony Brook, because anytime they decide, they can cancel that product. And now in the middle of the summer semester here, I'm stuck having to switch to a different resource. So the resource I'm picking now to complete the stock Excel database is going to be the Nasdaq.com. So I'm going to use www.nasdaq.com, which is a great site, has nothing to do with Stony Brook, and Stony Brook cannot cancel this site and this database. So it's independent, and we shouldn't have that problem again that we had this semester with Hoovers being deleted from Stony Brook databases. So sorry for that, but let's go over how to use the Nasdaq.com. So let me refresh the spreadsheet. We have McDonald's here. So you can type in the name of the company or the stock symbol. And as you start typing in the name of the company, you can see that a list pops up. So let's go to McDonald's Corporation. So right away, the first thing it gives me, of course, is advertisement. Let me get rid of that. Okay. And move this back. Okay, so the first thing it gives me here is the stock price. So I'm going to update the stock price here. And remember, don't get upset if the stock price changes. Whatever day you look up the stock price, enter in that stock price and never change it, because they change every day, every minute, and it's not going to change significantly enough to matter. Okay, so let's move in. We need to get the revenue number. So what we're going to do on NASDAQ, on the blue bar here, I'm going to scroll down to where it says income statement. I'm going to click on income statement, and they're going to give you the income statement for the most current year. Here is the most current year. And that's what I'm going to use. So whatever, I mean, you may have, every company has a different year end, so you may have different numbers, years rather. So whatever, use whatever most current. And it does give you a number of years, at least 4 years of data that you could use. And that becomes important when you want to do year over year change. Okay, so total revenue, let me type this in, and I'm going to use the full number. So I'm not going to abbreviate it into thousands. I'm going to use the full number, enter, and then cost of revenue. And I've also updated the spreadsheet to match the names of the NASDAQ, because I used to have cost of goods sold, but that was unique to Hoovers, so I'm trying to match up so there's no confusion. Okay, so I had my gross profit set to automatically calculate. And you see how this matches, and how I did that was simply I said add revenue minus cost of goods sold to get that number. You could also just type it in. You don't have to create a formula. So sales, general administration. So here we have sales, general administration, 1 million. It's already typed in, 1,668,100. And now we have operating income. So if I scroll down, here is operating income. And I'm going to enter that. And you can also, I think you can highlight if you don't want to type everything in, but it will bring over the format. So in that case, you may not like the format, but that's a possibility. I'm just going to go ahead and just type the numbers in. Okay, so net income, so operating income. So down here, if I scroll, here we go, net income, 192, 300. Okay, so I'm only choosing select numbers. So it's not a full income statement, balance sheet that you're going to be able to balance in total. I'm just pulling in some numbers here to be able to calculate our ratios. Okay, so cash and cash equivalents. Now cash is something that's going to be on the balance sheet. So I'm going to click balance sheet. And here I see I have cash and cash equivalents. And that's a name I had updated. So here let's put in 2,463,800. Okay, and now I have net receivables, and here it says net receivables. So 1,9,6 76, 200. Okay, and then we have inventory. So inventory 58 now. Remember, McDonald's is, they're a food retailer, but they're really a franchisor, so they're not going to have a lot of inventory because the franchisees hold the inventory, not the McDonald's corporation. So that makes sense. Total current assets. Okay, total current assets. 5,327,200. And this is already in billions, so this has been truncated. See, so when it says values in 000, I'm sorry, 000, that means a truncated 30. So this is actually in billions, but we're typing it in the millions because those numbers would just be too big. So I'm just typing in whatever number is displayed here. Okay. Total assets. Okay, down here is total assets, and that's 33,803,700. Okay, and then we have total current liabilities. So let me scroll here. We go total current liabilities 2,980,600. Okay, and now we have long-term debt. So we have long-term debt. Put this in 29,536. 400. Okay, and now we have total liabilities. So let's scroll down. Here we go. Total liabilities 37,071,700. Okay. Total equity. So let me scroll down here. Total equity. It's a negative. So these brackets mean it's a negative number. So I'm going to put this as a negative number. 3, 2, 6, 8, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then outstanding shares. So there's no outstanding shares here, but let me look up this list and see if something makes sense here. So I think I could use stock report. Let's click on that, and yes, it gives me common stock, and then here we go, outstanding shares. So I'm going to type in the full amount of outstanding shares, 785, 177, 123. Okay. All right. So once I have this data in that I inputted from Nasdaq, you should be able. I have formulas here already that you will calculate the financial ratios based on the inputs from above. And profit margin, earnings per share. Okay, so I think here with the outstanding shares, I'm going to have to truncate them because they're giving me the full amount of outstanding shares as 785 million. Since everything has been truncated by 3 zeros, I'm going to have to take 3 zeros off of the outstanding shares. And the reason I knew that is because the earnings per share can't be a penny for McDonald's if they have net income of 5 million, but it's really 5 billion. So that's why these shares are not truncated. So I truncated them just by taking 3 zeros off, so they'd be in line with the actual money because all the money is truncated by 3 zeros. I mean, so it shows 5 million here, but it's really 5 billion. So I'm going to have to keep the outstanding shares, and I'm going to put a little notation here so you know that you should display them in, take off 3 zeros. Okay. So everything else looks good. Market capitalization and cash per share, revenue, book to value, and PEG ratio. Okay, those numbers all look good. So now let's move down here to some of this technical information, share volume. So let's go to the summary quote. Let's see what, okay, so I have some information here. So here I have the share volume. So I'm going to put that in 2678. 168. Oops, and that should not be a percentage. So I'm going to format that as not a percentage. So 26, 78, 168. Put that there, and I want to get rid of no. I just want to get rid of those two zeros there. Okay, it's bugging me. And again, if you ever see these hashtag, it doesn't mean write this in Twitter. It means just open up the column so the numbers will display. I can't tell you how many times students ask me that question. Okay, so 90-day average daily volume. I already went ahead and changed the information for 006, 482. Okay, so that is the daily volume, 52-week high and low. So we have the 52-week high and low as 178 and then 146. Average, so so now we have these moving averages. So let's go to the interactive chart. And you can go to this FX tool here, and it's going to say this is moving averages. It's just truncated because I have the website so small, and I can change this to 100, and it's in red, and I say create. So that's 100 day. Actually, I want to remove. It's already moved on the same. Let me change the color. This is, let me just make that. Okay, so this red one is the 100 day, and then I'm going to put in the 200. So I'm going to change this 200, and then I'm going to change the color so I can see it. I'll make this a blue. Let's make this something we can see, maybe yellow. Okay, so now I have, well, the yellow doesn't come out too well, but I have the 100 and the 200. So I have to expand this so it's visible because I know you're going to have a hard time seeing it. I can just add out of here. Just add. So if we expand, I'm just taking the wheel to expand this a little bit so I can see that the 100-day moving average is 100, pretty close to the stock price, 158, and then the 200-day moving average, if I hover over that, I can see it's 157. And again, the color is really bad on that. So let me see if I can change that to maybe black. Okay, that's much better. So here's the 200-day, 157, and then the and we want to select a 1-year chart. All right, so that makes a difference. So the 1-year chart, now I have the 100 and the 200-day moving average. So this is the right. I want to delete this one. All right, so this is 200. So let me add again the moving average. I'll add the 100, and that will be red. Okay, so now here is, so I click on it, it says 100. Click here, it says 200, and this is the stock price. So easy enough to go back to my spreadsheet, and then I could type in these moving averages. Let me call up. Okay, so then here I can put in the 100 is, again, black is 200, red is 100, so the 100 is 164.49, and then the 200 in red is 160.41. Okay, so now we have to enter the beta. So I think that's in the, let's go back to the summary quote. And here is the beta. So the beta is 0.72. Okay, So this is great. I no longer need Yahoo. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to change this to from www.nasdaq.com. Okay, enter. So now we can just go to one website and get all the data we need. And again, these ratios, you have to input the formulas to calculate the ratios on the spreadsheet. So now that I'm done with McDonald's, and this is just an industry example. You have your own stocks in your own industry. And remember, you never want to work with financial companies, insurance companies, or banks because their financial statements are a complete mess. So if I was to type in, well, Wendy's Corporation, now I have my next company. And you'll see how it puts the tabs. So McDonald's, it keeps the McDonald's tab. And now I have the Wendy's tab. So I can now go again, and I can, the first thing is stock price. I can go up here, and I can input the stock price. All right. And then moving down to income statement. I have my income statement facts that I can put in here, and I'm going to change this to total revenue so it matches. So I'll get a question. Oh, the Nasdaq only says total revenue, and your spreadsheet says revenue. What do I do? And then I'll write back, well, it's the same thing, which is not. I see how it can be confused, because not everybody's a financial expert, so I'm going to change that so it matches, so that question won't come up. Okay, and then you just follow through what we just did with the McDonald's video. I'm going to change all these numbers, and then you have to go ahead. Actually, you'll have to go ahead and you know what I'll do? I'll save this spreadsheet so the formulas are in here, so you don't have to recreate the formulas. Now, guys, that'll help you a little bit to get this moving a little bit sooner, and this video should be sufficient for figuring out how to complete the stock Excel database, switching now from Hoover's to Nasdaq.com, which I think is a better website, and I think is a website that, since Stony Brook doesn't control a subscription to it, we won't have this problem of things disappearing off the databases. Okay, thank you for your time, and I hope you find this helpful for completing this portion of the project. Thank you, and take care.